There's something that psychics don't want you to know. And that's that intuition isn't rare. It's not that they have some secret superhuman power that they use. They just know how to use it and they've trained it. Now, intuition isn't some mystical thing. Whether you want to call it intuition or your subconscious, it doesn't really matter because they're exactly the same thing. And psychics have just learned how to use it and use it in a really specific way. And that's what I'm going to be talking about in today's video, is how to connect with your intuition so that you know whether it's your intuition versus a fear or anxiety that's coming through, how to build your own internal vocabulary so that you can have a communication between your subconscious and your intuition, and how to actually start that. Some practical exercises that I'll throw in at the end that you can start today to start bonding with your intuition, to start working with it, and to build a language with it. Now, if you enjoy my content, if you want to keep watching this kind of content, then I encourage you to subscribe. The more subscribers I have on the channel, the more content I can make and the more that I can keep producing it. So, what is our intuition? What is it? I mean, we all say, oh, that was very intuitive, an intuitive nudge. Really, our intuition is just our subconscious communicating with us. Now, our subconscious is pretty powerful, and yes, there are some, unknown aspects to it, like future predictions. But the thing with our subconscious is it picks up more than our conscious mind, okay? Our brain would literally implode if it had to process all of the information that it receives consciously. We don't have that capacity. Our brain restricts us in that way. But our subconscious is everything that our brain and mind and body picks up that's outside of our conscious awareness. So if you say get an intuitive nudge about someone, so a feeling in your gut, you go, oh, something's a little bit off, your subconscious could have picked up a micro adjustment within that person's facial expression that your conscious mind didn't pick up, and therefore it's sending you an intuitive nudge about that person. Now, it might seem as some mystical process, but that is basically how it works. And the more that you have a vocabulary with your subconscious, with your intuition, the more specific that communication can be, which is really cool. And it's something that can be taught, it's something that can be learned, and something that can be developed. And that's what we're exploring today. So for most people, nobody actually taught them the specific library that's needed. Okay, we're just simply told to trust our gut feeling, trust our intuition. But it's like, well, no, trust needs something to be built upon. And that's where this library becomes so meaningful and important, because our intuition, our subconscious, doesn't always speak in words. There are different layers associated with that. Now, that could be a feeling. We can train our body to have specific feelings that communicate with us. We also can interpret meaning into words that we hear and songs that we hear repeated within our mind. That's another way. And the way that I'm going to work with today is images that we see. Images that can be of anything, but we have to train it, okay? There's no point in jumping online and seeing some universal symbol that can be applied to anyone. It doesn't work like that, okay? You need to train your own subconscious in your own very specific way, okay? And now, yes, it's good to have, an outline and a guideline to work with, but you're the one who's going to be teaching yourself this. And so it's not like, you do these exercises once and everything's going to fall in perfectly. You need to build trust. Your conscious mind needs to build trust with your intuition, and your subconscious mind needs to build trust that your conscious mind can interpret the messages that it's receiving. So this is something that needs to be repeated consciously over time. And so say you do the exercise that I'm going to do at the end of the day, and you get a great revelation from it. Well, there's always messages associated with that. So you need to take the steps to move towards that consciously so that your subconscious can go, oh, okay, great. She's, building meaning, building trust with me, so I can send her stronger messages, stronger signals to build that, which is the really cool part of it. So, you know, do this, implement it, and keep practicing, because the more meaning you can associate with yourself, the stronger your intuition can be. And now that's the trust side of it. But, you know, how is your intuition, you know, how do you define whether it's your intuition or an anxiety that's coming through? Now, the more that you build your library, the more that you build your vocabulary associated with your intuition and subconscious, the more accurate the information can be. Okay, when you get an image that is sent with the feeling of anxiety or fear, that's always from a place of anxiety or fear. If you can train yourself to receive these intuitive nudges in a cool, calm, clear way, you know there's truth in that. So if you have trained yourself to say, picture an image of X, and you have that feeling associated with it, you know, that's a distorted signal, because our feelings and our mind pictures are two different communication tools. So they're two separate things, okay? If you say meet a person and then feel anxiety, then that's a signal in itself as well, okay? There's so much depth in this because, you know, people spend their whole lifetime training this to become very specific. So, you know, it's very cool. And once you start doing it and you see the truth in it, it's really awesome. So say, just to recap that, if you train yourself to receive images and then you get feelings attached to those, then it's a distorted signal. You know, there's not always truth in that. And the more that you can do it and the more repetitive you can be at that, the better you'll become. Now, let's do a little exercise now to really understand this. You know, I've been babbling away for the last, 7 minutes. So let's do an exercise, okay? Let's work with imagery here. I want you to close your eyes and I want you to picture a front door. Now, just the first thing that comes to your mind. I don't want to associate any meaning to this front door at all. I just want you to notice it. What does the front door look like? Is the door heavy? Is it thin? Does it have something fragile like glass in it? Is there a big lock on it? Or is the door completely open? Is it wide? Every little detail is important in this one because it all has meaning. Now, this door represents how open you are with the world. What you let in, what you don't. Now, is your door really heavy? Does it have lots of locks on it? Okay, perhaps you're closing out the external world, or you're putting up too many barriers and you're not letting anybody in. Or perhaps it's wide open, so too much is coming in. And it's just a little fly screen that's going on the hinges. And perhaps you need to build something, a little bit more solid, not too solid, but just something that's going to protect you a little bit. Okay, now the amazing thing about this is, that was the image, that was the symbolism that your subconscious is sending you. Are you too closed off? Are you too open? Or are you balanced? Is it good? Now, if you are too open, if you are too closed off, the good thing is you can change this and you can start to rewire your subconscious. So you can go ahead now and actually change that door. If there's something that needs to be changed, if you need to put, a better lock on it, if you need to take some locks away, then you can do that, okay? Now, doors also represent opportunities. Now, I want you to picture the door again, but I want you to picture whether it's open or shut. Just simply open or shut, okay? Now, once you've done that, I actually placed a condition on this, that this was about your finances. So if your door was open, that means you're open to financial opportunities at the moment. If your door was shut, it means you're not open to that. And you can change that as well by opening that door if you want to, or close it if that's the other thing that you want. Now, this is a wider concept. So we do have feelings that we can train ourselves into. We do have sounds and words that we can train ourselves into, as well as the vast library of images. So this is something that I'm going to be working with, and I'm going to be creating more content around this to help you guys train yourself up to really connect with your intuition, to start to trust it, and to be able to lean into it as well. Now, It's not that your intuition's absent, because it's not. It's just uncoded at the moment. So let's start to code that in. Let's whack it in, and I'll be posting more content about this. So keep updated on my page, subscribe if you want to keep notified, and save this video as well so I don't get lost in the river and you can come back and see me. So until next time, mwah. Let me know in the comments what your door looked like, whether you're open to opportunities, and anything else. Yeah, I'd love to know.